Around 1 month ago, I set about the task of clearing out and planting these planters. At the time, there was a shrub growing out of one side, and mint had completely taken over the other side. And so yes, I set about the task of clearing it all out, getting the roots out, and I planted on one side some dwarf beans and some lettuce, and on the other side some runner beans and some cut and come again lettuce. And at the time I said I would take a look 4 weeks on. And so here we are, 4 weeks on. And I'm very pleased with the results. We've had some lovely warm weather, and it's encouraged this really strong growth. And so in 4 weeks, I think it's really impressive the way that these beds have taken off. I put in this matrix at the time after sowing, which prevents cats going on the soil. And I've allowed everything to grow through that matrix, and it's all worked out very successfully. These dwarf beans are much slower growing than the runner beans, but that's fine, and they're doing okay, and they're all growing up. They're about to start climbing these poles. And these runner beans, obviously runner beans go a little bit more quickly, and they're already galloping up these poles and doing really well. The lettuce, I'm really pleased with that, and before long I shall be harvesting this lettuce, perhaps in the next day or two, probably today actually. I might start cutting some of this for our lunch. And so yeah, what a result we have here. As I say, really pleased with the results. There's a little bit of somebody's been eating this, I'm not quite sure who, and there's a little bit more here, but in the main they haven't been touched by slugs too much. And that is because I've put in this anti-slug system, which is quite simply 15mm copper tube with elbows just simply pressed in, and this surrounds the whole planter. So slugs apparently don't like copper. It gives them a bit of a tingle or unpleasant sensation when they climb over it. So yeah, this has been a sort of a protection or barrier, if you like, and I've extended the barrier up, as you can see, along the wall, and then down to sort of fence off the whole area in copper. Yeah, I think the results sort of speak for themselves, in that yeah, there's been quite a few slugs around, and in fact in the first nights when the lettuce was coming through, I went out there at 12 o'clock midnight with a torch, and I picked them off and relocated them over the hedge, shall we say. And this is what led me to then use this copper pipe system, which I'd remembered from a few years ago when we had a garden in another house we were living in. So here are the canes, and as you can see, these leaders here are absolutely galloping up these canes. I did say at the time that I put these canes in that I would put some little tops on to stop your eye being poked out, and what I have used is these little beech nut shells. We have our neighbour has a beech tree, and there's an abundance of these all over the place. So what I've done is, rather than use plastic, I've popped these on each one, and some of these have blown off in recent winds. So some of them are a bit tight, and they're much the better for being tighter. I have a little pot of these nut casings. Let's pop that one on there. That should fit on there. And let's try and find a slightly bigger one for here. That should go on nicely, which it does. I'll just break that little top off. And so yeah, that's a little idea for making the tops of these canes safe. So all in all, I am very pleased with progress so far, and let's visit them again in another 4 weeks and see how far we've got. By then we will have had some of these leaves. As I say, we're going to probably pick some of those or cut some today, and let's see how far up the poles that the runner beans will have gone, and how well the dwarf beans will have done. So yeah, let's check again in 4 weeks.